But now we have our main man, Jason Mayol, the owner of Mateo Sports Nutrition Shop.
We all have a gift.
Mm-hmm.
We all have a gift. And if you're an employee of mine, my job as a leader is to figure out what you're really good at. Once you figure that out, because I'm not your parent, and like I barely know who you are. I don't do the resume thing. I go by gut. If I click with you, if my attitudes and the way I present matches, because I don't care how much you know. I don't care if you're an encyclopedia of bodybuilding, but if you can't carry a damn conversation and you don't have no empathy and sympathy for others, you're dead in water.
I think you got both points there.
Yeah.
All right. So
I mean,
I'm identifying it right here. You identify their potential, what they are great at, and you help them get to understanding their gifts. And maybe in fleshing out their dream, showing them, hey, so I hear you talking about this all the time. Don't you think that might be something you maybe should explore a little bit longer? You know, a little bit more in depth. And while at that too, you're also identifying the qualities. This person is caring for other people. So if they can care for themselves as much as they want to become the best version of themselves, they should be able to also want the best versions out of other people.
You elaborated and articulated better than I did. There you go.
I only got inspiration from you.
You got it.
That's the way it works.
You got it. Remember, like the time I have with you or the employee is a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
So I need to make every time count. I mean, there's some owners that will just grind the hell out of them and just demand, me, whatever. Me, like, I mean, I'm blessed to have whoever steps in my grace, right? And it's my opportunity to get to know, because that person could have been me.
Yeah.
Wide-eyed, eager to learn, but I had no clue about business, but I had every intent to do good. So yeah, if your intent is good, you don't mean to deceive or lie or do the wrong things in life, and you're coachable with an open mind, and you're eager to learn, and you have aspirations to become somebody or something in the future, that's all I need. Because at one point, we all started somewhere. Even the best of the best who are now these millionaire, whatever, they all started somewhere. Nobody's born rich, like as far as like insta famous or whatever. So they had to earn it, but there's a process to where, somebody gave them a shot. I want to be that somebody to everybody. When people are confused, when people see darkness in life, like right now, and people don't have that hope, and they don't get that encouragement or that self, affirmations, which is very critical, because remember I said, success is an everyday state of mind. And sometimes it's a grind to where you're going to get frustrated, you're going to get fatigued, you're going to get burned out. You're going to get, what's it called? Cabin fever.
Yeah.
Right? Whatever. I mean, I totally get it. It's all in our DNA. But the person who can, again, be the leader, be like, you know what? I'll be your darkness. I'll take in your dark energy. And you give me a shot of helping you see the light. Just give me some time to work with you. I'll tell you what I know. I'm not trying to, hide. This is what I learned. And if you're wanting to take that leap of faith with me, and you want to spend the energy and time with me, and you want to just every day work on it, I'll work with you for free. Because I always believe if there's more influential people in this world starting today, and if I can do it one person at a time, for example, if I speak to you and I kind of lit that fire underneath and I said, all right, Scotty, you do your thing, you do you, and then I don't see you for another couple of years. But what I don't know is you're putting in work every single day, just by what I said, perhaps. And then you garnered your army of people that follow you, right?
That's exactly what,
okay.
That's the mission.
That's
the mission.
So multiply that. Each person I talk to, I'm just planting the
that
seed.
Network, yeah.
It's that energy. And it's your job. If I did a good enough job, and I'm still trying to craft.
Of course, we're always evolving.
Right.
So, yeah.
And if my intent, and if they see eventually, because like the way I present myself every single day is like, dude, this bro is like, but there's ethics behind it. There's a structure. There's everything, and I'll teach you that. But if you just keep things smaller in your life, meaning all the distractions, all the drama, you'll start to be a little bit more focused, and you'll start to see what you really want and what you're dreaming about. It comes, instead of being foggy and hazy, it starts to become much more clear. Clarity is key in life. When you get the clarity of what you really want to do and desire, and it doesn't have to be rock star status. It could be just like having a home with a wife, with kids, and health.
That's
the American dream, right? No drama.
Still doing good, enjoying your life, being happy.
Boom. You know what? But sometimes people have the shackles of their past that weigh them down, where they can't break free from them, but they need somebody with the key to unlock them. And if I can be that person to unlock your true destiny in life and give you the free for all the weight off your shoulders to be like, you can do it. I believe in you. Those are the most powerful words. I think I believe in you. Right? If you need to hear it over and over to kind of get reaffirmation, it only goes so far. But it's up to you to put in the work. And with that being said, it's like you working out for the first time. You have all ambition. By month number 2, you're not seeing much change, but the pain is even greater. And then you ask yourself, is it worth it? And you're being so present, and you're not seeing the vision play out. If you can see past that pain, but you can still dream about that future, and you're going to chase number 1 every day with all life's dramas, with all life's media trying to filtrate your brain and try to demand your mind control.
Literally being tenacious.
Right. You have to be tenacious, and you have to be resilient enough to be, I'm going to stay in my lane. I believe in myself. And then with that, each day, like you're working out, you're building the endurance, you're building the strength, you're building extra added that you didn't have, which opens up a Pandora's box. You're like, wow, boom. Well, enjoy that accomplishment. Get the next dopamine accomplishment.
Yeah.
That's all about. Every single achievement is a reward of a feel good, and that's dopamine, right? That's the name of the game. So when you structure your day, starting the moment you wake up, well, maybe even before that, to the night you go to bed, make sure you get into your rest, okay? Because rest, we can talk about that, will dictate the energy you have the next day. So let's just say now you woke up and you want to wake up 5 a.m. because you want to beat everybody else and you kind of want to get your day going. Just instead of winning the day, instead of winning the hour, just win the first minute. Because decisions are typically made the moment you think it, moment you hit that snooze, you got 10 seconds to make a move. To execute. It's all about executing. It's all putting that foot forward.
Mm-hmm. Action. That's why I see the physical development is in direct coordination or correlation with action.
There you go.
Like, people think about fitness, it's like law of attraction has action in it.
And that's where you start to develop an attribute. A lot of people don't understand. The name of the game is doing things autonomously through rituals and routines. People don't understand how powerful that is. So the name of the game is dopamine fix. Feel good. I accomplished. Okay, first minute, I'm up. All right. Well, get yourself out. If you work out in the morning, for example, well, if you do like cardio, just put your freaking shoes on while you're half asleep. The moment you get out those 4 walls of your door, that's an accomplishment. You got out of the house, the comfort, the bed. Oh, it's gone. Now I'm just, okay, might as well just do my thing. Dopamine fix. Now when you walk back in your house, pat yourself on the shoulder. Boom. You did 2 things. You're winning the day already. That's only the first hour or 2. 3, whatever you have to do, rituals or routines to get yourself ready, have a good breakfast, drink water, all those little small things. Energy, right? We're building energy. We're building the conditioning you to survive a full day times 7 times 30 days, 31 days times 365. That's it. Rituals, routines, when you're going to have your good days and your bad days, when you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, the rituals and routines will take over to the point where you're like, fuck, I had a badass day. But when you think about, at the end of the day, when you think back, you're like, you know what? Thank God I've been doing this forever. Waking up, put my contacts, get out the door, because I feel great now. But in the morning, I felt like crap. But if I didn't have those rituals and routines that I practice, right? And this is just a small ideology I'm using. But
that's
imagine
building
that.
habits.
Yeah, it's building habits. So in business, the same thing. The moment I get in here, I have a ritual. I have a routine. I get in. I'll tell you. I get the vacuum. I clean. The first hour is typically pretty quiet. I mean, I'm open at 10, but I get 1 or 2 customers. I'm vacuuming, I'm cleaning, but that's just it's a distraction for me to stay busy while I'm listening to a motivational podcast or something, right? Because it's all about the state of mind to have that endurance and energy to go 6, 7, 8 hours after. Because I need a coach as much as everybody needs a coach. I need a raw motivational, but all right. Who you listen to or what you watch, whatever turns the dial for you, moves the needle for you, do it. Because that's your coach. That's what inspires you. It reminds you of why you're here, what you're doing, what's your destiny, what's your goal. And then when I'm like, right, okay, huddle, I'm good. Boom. It's a ritual routine. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to conquer the freaking day. Whoever comes in, they better watch out. Because the ultimate compliment would be someone that walks in, I'm like, hey, how's it going? And they're like, you talking to me? Yeah, I'm talking to you. Do I know you? No, we just met. I floor them with excitement and energy. I'm not faking it. It's authentic, because the person is so conditioned to not get customer service when they walk into a shop. I blow them away with hi. That's an art. Nobody says hi anymore. Everybody's so on their damn phone. So just to get a hi acknowledgement, that's a win. If I say, hey, how's your day? I'm like, hey, it's almost like we're buddies. I'm automatically conditioning them then. We're talking about conditioning. We're talking about conscious to subconscious.
To identifying your story with who you are, with the feel.
My plan is to condition you when the moment you walk in through my door, if you don't see, I have a red carpet. It's a direct symbol to remind myself every person that walks through
great.
Deserves red carpet treatment, like a Hollywood.
Yeah, that's great.
Nobody knows that. I'm telling you. I roll out the red carpet treatment.
It reminds you.
It reminds me. It's a symbol. So every time, it's an easy, when somebody walks in, I see the red. It's like, okay, Jay, snap out what you were doing. The world revolves around this person right now being present. That's one thing. Be present, because that person needs you. He may not show it, but there's a reason why. It's your job, Jason. Figure it out. Win them over with the experience, the code of ethics that you wrote down that wins. That's my system. And just repeat it for the next person, and just continue it on. Boom.
So what I saw when I was editing that vlog, and a customer came in, because it was during normal operating hours. A customer came in, you were talking to me like all serious and stuff. And that person came in, you're like, hi, you're still coming out like that excited, feel good energy. And then the cut went somewhere because I was doing something, but I still got footage of you in the background engaging with the customer, which the customer had a little bit lower energy. So you had a high energy and you brought it right down to their level. Yeah. You got to the level, you asked them about their weekend, and they were letting you know about, yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And you made the whole sale process like you're just talking to a friend. You're just saying, what's up?
I always say it this way. You model people right away. I mean, it's better to risk being happy and excited versus like being low and being like, what are you doing here? Right? So I'll take the higher ground. And then when I found out he was a lower, he was just maybe a little nervous, like, what the hell's going on in here? Well, I had to tone it down to match him, right? So if you're consciously, if you get the art of conversation, is a lot of has to do with mirroring, right? Modeling and mirroring, right? You know, because you're not going to be excited talking to a, someone that's just, oh man, I'm just like, I can't match his level. You know, but if you're like, I got to talk to everybody's level.
The people have all these different levels. There's high energy to mid to low. There's Tony Robbins, and then there's down to like, I don't know, like, well, Gary Vaynerchuk's pretty high up there too.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's the art of conversation. Yeah. If you can mold yourself and you can kind of digress and you can adapt to the conditions presented, you can, and then get them feel comfortable, and then time will tell. And maybe the guy just woke up, and then maybe he is really excited, but you'll figure it out by the you just have to buy time. And the more you ask, the more the seconds tick by. Every minute that counts, I learned something new. Everybody exposes information that I am very consciously aware of, and I'm very observant. That's another good thing about
having active listening.
You have to be a good observer. Mm-hmm. Visual, audio, what you hear, what you feel. You know, I'm in your shoes.
And even seeing their energy, how they are conducting in their body language.
That's sales.
Yeah.
But sales, I don't like to say sales. I just like to say
but you're
I
caring
care
for them. You're caring for them.
So that's why it makes it easier. There's no dollar amount that I'm trying to aim for. A lot of people just walk out of here, just say, I'm just stopping in, just checking it out. But it's the experience, the dollar signs, the ticket, the receipt that they take home is the most valuable thing, because it gives me the better opportunity for them to come back. Maybe today was not their day because they're in a hurry. Maybe they're just passing by. But the next time, I'm in resonating with their head. And they're like, you know what? When I have more time, I'll come back. Boom. Then I nail my boom. And then when I get their conscience, we're working on the conscience. The second time they come back is maybe in a reevaluation. Maybe this guy was just like, I was my lucky day. Maybe he had his coffee, talk about me, that I'm going to try him again a second time. Same experience.
And you actually have an added profile knowledge of that person, because there was years that I wasn't around you. You still remembered who I was, what I did.
I may not be like genius Einstein where I can remember everybody's names, but I do a pretty damn good to try to remember it. So one of the things as a business owner, what I do, and this is kind of like off topic, but I'll jump back on. The best thing to really know your customer, you know, if you do social media like Facebook, Instagram, watch their stories.
Yeah.
Watch their TV shows. I can't express all the information you need to know about somebody is on their TV show or their Instagram profile, Facebook profile.
That's funny because I do the same thing.
But why do I have to guess on what you like, what you don't like, and get to know the customer?
You got the information right there.
It just takes time.
Yeah.
It's free. I don't need to do no ad search. I don't need to do I don't need a Google Analytics to find out.
You're talking about the power of social media and actually seeing them broadcast and sharing part of their life to you.
If I can, what used to be, if I can remember someone's name, they're floored. And I'm like, ooh, if I can remember, like, hey, I saw you at an event or at a wedding and you had this, good night. You just won them. Because it tells them that you pay attention to their TV show.
In their life.
Everybody wants to be a rock star.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody who posts something,
they want to show out.
They don't want to just post it and be like, I don't care who looks at it. Yeah. I guarantee everybody wants to see who looked at it.
Even I do that. I mean, I try to be like, I want to be detached from my own ego ways. And I'm just like, I want to see what's going on here.
But that's a business owner being naive.
Yeah.
If content is there for you to look at and you're being naive and you're being like, I don't need to see that. I don't want to look at other people's lives. I want to be in my own life. It's free information. And if you're that naive to not take advantage of getting to know your customer.
It's great for an introvert.
It's great for an introvert.
Oh my God.
That's the key of moving forward in business in 2020 on. It's no longer the big box where they throw stuff out there on the TV. This is what you need to buy. You're buying feelings and emotions, the spirit. You're not only they're buying into your brand. Why can't me, just like a normal human being, why can't I buy into your TV show?
It's a two-way exchange. Yeah.
It's a mutual. I may have something that you need today in fitness and nutrition. However, you are good in your expertise, in your platform in business of what you do. And one day I will need your expertise. So why can't there be a yin and yang flow? Because there's going to be one day when I'm going to need, hey, I need help with this. And so remember the power of entanglement in this universe. There's always a give and take. Right now, you gave me your time and I helped you. There's going to be a time when I need help. You're going to help me. So boom, that's my mindset. That's why every person that comes in is always a friend. It's not a customer. It's just like, I care, right? And it shows. With that becomes the leader. And when you do that enough times, I swear to God, that is the leader. That is the president or the mayor, whatever you name it. If people see that in you, that you're not high almighty, like they just want my money. But you're really normal human being. You really do care about overall their, for what I needed at that time, like a good doctor would be. Well, 9 times out of 10, that same reverse effect will come back to you, right? It should be that way. It's a symbiotic relationship, right? It's a give and take. That's how the world should be. Not like give, and be like, all right, cool, thanks, man. I know. Joe, is that your name? Joe, right? No, it's Jim. Oh, my bad. But if I go like, hey, Scott, I'm asking you about how's the podcast? Or even Matt, I saw that podcast. You're elevating your game. I saw that. I'm a big fan of yours. Why can't I be a fan of yours as you're a fan of mine? Why can't we just do the same thing? It just takes work.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So
it takes work, but it shows you care.
Yeah. And so instead of wasting your time watching a reality show, watching somebody else's happiness, because your life sucks, why not use that same television show idea, reality show, and watch somebody else's that personally there's a connection and be their fan.
You guys can actually help each other at that point because they're so connected.
Yeah, because that reality show is the same thing. It's still a person. They're just farther away. Same thing. Behind this screen, this TV show is a person that I happen to know. Mm-hmm. Why don't you? Why I'm more closer to the person that has like 3 followers than for someone who's influential, but in 2 years they're nobody. Mm-hmm. But in 2 years, this number 2 becomes like a really good friend of mine, and we team up. Well, who knows? So gauging by a number on a screen, how many followers, that has nothing to do with success. They might have bought them. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, what you can deliver every single day, and I'll leave it at this, if you just be your best self, you every single day, granted, whoever comes through the graces of my door, you treat them like royalty. Bottom line. I don't care if you're influencer of whatever. If you're a movie star and I don't know you, no offense, I'm just not into your industry. If you're a movie star in my industry, but nobody else knows who you are outside of, well then, see, everyone's perception is different because you're a movie star in my eyes. Mm. You're not in Hollywood. It's just the eye of the beholder. That's it. Yeah. So whoever is being portrayed on the big screen movies doesn't move the needle for me at all. I'm like, okay, whatever. I see him on the street. I'm like, go get his autograph. Why? He has no impact for me. He didn't do anything for me. You did something for me. More than the guy that's on the big screen.
The value exchange.
Exactly. So, but if you can kind of separate yourself from reality and that's scripted and it's produced like that to act a certain way versus a real genuine person that has feelings that, they fail that are just like me. They go home each night. They have fuck ups. They have struggles. Mm-hmm. I can relate to it. And then I don't see why everybody's going to the virtual reality rather than staying present and remembering like the people that are near you every single damn day.
It's finding striking that balance between interacting with people right now, being present in the moment, and using social media as more of a tool instead of trying to transcribe your whole life on there and forget your surroundings and being present with people around you.
That's totally, most people just see, this is just a TV show. and people just want happiness. And so the reality, they just want to escape their reality and watch other people's reality show to seek happiness, right? That's why some people can sit on the couch and watch reruns and episodes of this, and they can't miss it because they're watching somebody else's happiness, right? Hoping they can get a little bit of their happiness rather than fixating on like the real issues, which is today's world, and be like, this. I get happiness doing this. This is real. It's not fiction. It's not scripted, right? It's not that. But then you grow from it, and we can grow together. Why can't people do that? Why? Because everybody wants the instant fame. Everybody wants to be the rock star. They want the easy button to be the rock star, but they don't want to put in the work. That's it.
People want the instant fame, but they're not putting in the work. So where do you want to tie that with the subconscious and the conscious?
All right. So this is outer space stuff. So
let's get into it. I like that stuff.
Take a break.
I was surprised that you wanted to circle around again. I'm like, oh, you got more to say now.
Have a little hit of ganja because this will resonate.
I like it. Let's do it. I just going interdimensional.
So this is the spiritual side, and so this is the psychological side that what I've learned. Okay, so consciously. The easier question would be like, how do you get to the point where you're not faking it to make it? Right?
Yeah.
Meaning like
where you true.
How do you
authentic.
become authentic rather than faking it to make it? Because a lot of people say just fake it till you make it, and you'll get your whatever. But if you're in the long game, you'll get it. Your ass get exposed. So what happens is you have to it's like a muscle. Over time, when you do reps, it'll eventually translate into whatever results. Same thing. Remember, everything starts with the brain, which will control your thoughts. Your voice will expose your thoughts, what you're thinking. So that's how you change, the world that way. So what I'm trying to say is your aura, your attitude, your charisma, the way you present yourself is a direct reflection of what you're thinking. Bottom line.
And you have to be, you'll be exposed if you're not consistent to that.
Well, it's a long game because I have to do it for 10 hours a day, 7 days a week. So it's much easier just to say, hey, let me just live the life of it. But how do you do it? Well, it takes practice. So anybody can do it. But you have to believe in yourself that this work takes not 21 days, not 44 days, not 8. It's usually like 66, 70 days to 365 days. 66 to 70 days minimum for it to become a habit. For example, when I got married, I was raised with 3 boys. We never had to make a bed. I never had to put the toilet seat down.
Yeah.
So when I got married, my life just went upside down. I feel I was being breached. Like, I do whatever. No, it's okay. So anyway, however, we have to like agree to have a compromise.
To have some harmony.
So I'm like, all right. I got to dig deep. Okay. So
just be careful what you say right now. She might be watching.
Fix the bed. Woo, babe, I did it. Okay, that was day 2.
Yeah.
I missed it on 3. So what I did, I'm like, babe, I had to do this. So whatever excuse a guy,
excuses,
it doesn't goes. It doesn't mean
people don't care about excuses.
I learned it now, man. So excuses don't mean nothing. Okay, so I got on my horse and I just said, all right, just do it. And so okay, it took me literally 3 months till I'm on. It's game. I do it now. Toilet seat, same thing. Oh man, toilet seat. Da, 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 da. I never knew how angry women get when the toilet seat's up. I see red in their eyes, and I'm like, a whole fangs coming out of their mouth. I'm like, okay, boom. But I conditioned myself to do it.
You better have a happy wife, happy life.
Oh yeah. Oh man, it's better to have a happy wife. There's a lot of rewards if they're happy. You get a lot of rewards. So I don't want to mess that up. So with the toilet, it takes 2 seconds on my day. But my brain wasn't composed enough to have that energy to really say, toilet seat down equals reward, which is put your imagination in what you want to do. Okay. So it was enough for me. Okay. So long story short, conditioning of the mind starts with consciousness. Consciousness is basically things you put in and your brain will process it. Is it good or bad? Good or bad? And it'll place it somewhere in your body to where like, okay, so if you do something and it's right and everybody tells us right, okay, your brain will wire that. Okay, that's the right thing to do.
Neurons that wire together or fire together, wire together. Neuroplasticity. Yeah.
Neuroplasticity. Got it. Thank you. So subconscious is basically when you're on autopilot, your body just, you just do things just autonomous, right?
And we're mostly doing it every day. Yeah.
Every day. So how do you get to that point where, well, it's all about so if the code of ethics that I wrote down, I want to be on time, not Filipino time. All right. I do all the stuff, personal stuff at home before I get to work. I say to myself, I want to be 1% better than yesterday. Or some cliche. I just want to learn something new, right? I want to go through every single day knowing that I gave 100% of my customer care to every single person that comes in. I still take care of myself, blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever the code is. But I knew, just like working out, that's why working out was just fundamentally the conditioning that I understand. When you work out, you set a goal, you stay with it, and you stick with it. You can translate that in anything in business or in relationships or whatever in life. Okay, that's how impactful working out at 16 to this day. Now I'm correlating this to conscious to subconscious. Now, subconscious is basically, that's your beliefs. Okay, so I believe I want to be this person. I want to be on time. I want to be the better husband. I want to be the best. I want to be the best the supplement industry has ever seen when it comes to customer service and knowledge. Best experience. I set that bar that high. Knowing that I'm going to figure it out. Okay, so set your bar so high, and then you start practicing every day. Not just like, you go home, you're going to meditate, no. You just do things, you balance. Okay, fitness, you got 24 hours in a day. I always make sure I get 7 to 8 hours of sleep because rest is really translation into energy. Okay, so minus was that 16 hours? Okay, so driving to work, so I only have so much time to really make an impact and make these changes consciously. What I tell myself is right. This is the process of learning of a business. I don't know anything. I'm learning as I go. I'm throwing stuff on the wall, hoping it freaking sticks. It may not stick the first time, it may stick the second time. If it doesn't stick the second or third time, I do something different. That's a win. Even though I failed, it's a win because I'm not going to do it again. Right? People can't see that. Right? So you ask somebody, hey, Joe, hey, how do you start a business? Hey, Bob, how did you start your business? Hey, Billy, whatever. Their ways of doing what they do is their way. It's okay to ask and get advice and do, but don't follow. You try it. You try it. You try his. You try him. You try. Throw it on the wall. See if it sticks. If it does, all right.
Take what works and discard what doesn't.
Okay. When you start finding things that you're that's working in your business, and then you even dummy you down from there, like, what do you like? Well, I mean, which one that you're really pretty okay and like consistently can do? You take one or two or three things. You make it good, you make it better, but you make it legendary. I'm not kidding.
No, that's why you hit me right here when you said that.
I knew I was going to blow you away with a word. Like,
I didn't get it. It was like there in the pun.
What my words have to match is my belief.
Yeah.
If I said I wanted to be the best in the supplement business when it comes to being in the retail,
customer
those
care.
words have to match that. Legendary is your cream of the crop. You mastered it. So I'm legendary. I say it enough times in my head, conditional, which subconsciously I start to believe in it.
Yeah.
So then I start walking the walk of legendary, whatever. I mean, I'm not trying to I know legendary, but to me, legendary is excellence. Yeah. It's not average. Mm. Why I can be average, but I might get eaten. Remember that lion gazelle? I'm gonna get eaten because life is never fair. But if I'm elite, average to elite, boys to men, whatever you name it, it's gonna be much harder to take me off my game. It's gonna be very challenging and difficult to take number one. Who's number one? And remember, sometimes I like to say I'm personally, I might be number one, but in my mind, I like to be number two, number three, because I like to chase number one. It gives me that fire and desire. It's a trick. Anything that works, use it. But the legendary may sound funny now, but in 10 years, when I'm on top of my game, it's not so funny. But I had the vision. So when you start becoming of it, and you start walking the walk in legendary, even though you're still down here, the way you start to think changes. The decisions that you make changes.
Act as if, then act.
The people that you surround yourself changes. Everything changes.
It has to match that same frequency you're on. If you're elevating your game, your awareness, your consciousness, if you're just getting better, you're naturally going to be attracting better.
It's the name of the game.
Everything, yeah.
You have to be confident, but you have to be realistic. I always say there's 4 things that make success work in business. And, take it as it is. But this is what I learned. 1, you set your dreams and goals so outlandishly out there that you're limited and you can't get there. That's number 1. Meaning, like, I want to be the president. So out there because you barely even graduated. I want to go be the first one on Mars. It's a dream. Anything's possible, but it's so out there that's beyond your limits. That's 1.
Push past those limits, those boundaries.
Number 2, I mean, it's like the dream is there, but your limitations on it's not. You set your limits a little too low to get to achieve
because
that
the moment you achieve a lower limit, then it's like you're not really pushing yourself. But you're
still hanging out with average people.
Yeah,
average people will only get you average results. So but you're stuck. You're complacent. You're good. It's fine, right?
But expect to get
average. Number 3 is basically the common thing is you're
just. What was number 2?
You set your goal. You set your.
That was number 1. Set dreams and goals for number 1. Number 2 was.
No, the number 1 is your
dream so high.
Your limits. You set your dreams so far out there that you can't reach them. Like some people want to be like, I want to be an NBA player, but you're only 5'6", bro. Okay.
Well, there's some examples.
Yeah, I'll say, so that's when we're 7 years old, right? Yeah. And then we have to pivot and like, like you only like 5'7" when you're a senior in high school. So that's why. Okay, number 2, I just said you the still another dream is still there, but you're mingling with average. Your limits are average. You're not elite. Number 3 is the fear of what other people say. The fear of failure, right? Instead of listening to your inner voice, you're more aware and more listening to the outer voices, the people who say you can't. The people
to ignore the outer voices.
Yeah, that's the fear of failure. That's what freezes people to get to their dream. They freeze. They
gotta get past it.
They don't jump off the cliff of life.
Gotta fight it. Gotta push it right through.
Yeah. Number 4. What was number 4? I had it in my head, but the hell.
Goals you can't reach. Do extraordinary things. Be around other people.
I forgot. I'll come back to it. I had a brain fart because I was thinking about number 3 or number 1 and 2. I'll come back to it. But that's it. I mean, that's really how I see it. I always see it this way. The battle is always, the battlefield, I always say, is always in your head, right? Although I can put a really nice, presentable, nothing's bothering me face, but what you don't know is I got a lot of shit going on that's draining my energy because I'm not taking care of it. I'm not living by my code of ethics, right? So the battlefield is in your mind, meaning like you're more sometimes the desire to move forward, the possibility of changing. If you're passionate about getting up when you're being hit, right, and you brace it. But the thing is, the battle is not against what people say about you. The battle is what you say about you.
If you're going to get up again when you get knocked down.
That's it. So it's the inner voice, the angel and the devil that's pulling you from both ends. And you just have to be like, those are just voices. But your code of ethics, who you are, your belief, when you condition it so well and you rehearse it every single day and you remind yourself, this is not the way Jason does it. It's easy to go back and get back on track again. But if you don't have nothing to fall back on, it's going to be easily somebody else can decide for you. That's the game of life. They can decide for you where you should go in life. That's why gangs are so apparent, because, you know, they pick somebody else very depressed, very sad. They don't know what they want to be. Gang member goes, hey, bro, come with me. I'll give you all what you need. Status, respect that your parents, that your brothers, your sisters aren't given to you. That's all people want. They just want to be loved, heard. Boom, social, right? That's it.
So going through all the things you've said is basically believing yourself, knowing who you are, passing on the message to other people to find their own, unlocking their own potentials, to becoming the best version of themselves, and help them become leaders to make more leaders so we can create some great changes in society.
Yeah.
Be the cause to affect more people, to cause that domino effect that we can uplift each other.
Yeah.
So at the end of this, I always ask people this one question.
Okay.
All my guests is one question.
Okay.
Is
Final round.
final round. And it's going to get deep.
Okay.
Right. When you're talking to someone, what would you tell the viewers, the audience that are watching you right now? Your people, your friends, your family, people that follow you on Instagram and Facebook pages. What would you tell them? Or what question should they be asking of themselves?
Every day? The moment they wake up?
Yes.
What are you going to do with the time that you have left on this earth? That's it.
That's it.
That's my signature. Because really, the bottom line is, I don't care if you're born, I don't care if you're 20, I don't care if you're 80, you still have time on this earth. What are you going to do with that time that you have left? Sink? You're going to swim. You're going to make an impact still while you're still breathing? When God says you're not done, what are you going to do with it? That's it.
And what do you think the result of it will be?
You'll find out. Depends on how close you get to the steps of God.
That's the beginning of the adventure. And
That's the game I'm playing. Game over. Koopa King, or what do you call it?
Mario.
The king, yeah. The end boss man is to get closer through the steps.
The stairway.
The stairway to heaven as close as you can. And every single day, do not waste any time to give the gift that you were granted, the life you were granted. Use the opportunity that you have left and do what you know what the intent is for. By that time, you should be wise enough to kind of understand. And by that time, when you know your time is coming to an end, by that time, hopefully you haven't given up on life.
Yeah.
By that time, I hope you're trying to really kind of define the last minutes, seconds, whatever you have to let the man upstairs know I deserve to be with you and to be with your other family members in the past that are waiting for you. And to me, I don't know. That's just me. That's what moves me. I believe in that. I also believe in there's life after death and we'll be back here again. But that's just me. And I'm good with that. That's my code of ethics. And that's what wakes me up every single morning.
Well, that was an eloquent statement that you've given me and given us. I've never felt more encouraged before. I mean, every time that I've talked to you, it's always been encouraging, but having this conversation, really diving deep into who you are and what you believe and what you see for other people, I'm feeding off of it. I'm feeling good off of it. And I'm going to you're the influence, man. You're pushing me to greatness, and you're pushing other people to greatness. And I think that's wonderful.
I commend you, Scotty. You're a blessing in my life, and you have a gift. And as you said, this is my first time I ever done an interview like this, so this is just raw. This is nothing scripted, and I had a great time. I learned a lot about myself. I learned about this is all new, but it doesn't justify. It doesn't take away what my role and what my what I see myself doing. This is just all life distractions. But if I can magnify and amplify my message to somebody else that may need that little pick me up, hey, and that's my superpower. That's my superpower. That's my gift. That's my talent.
Talent to share to the world and what you'll get in return.
Because each person I affect, it's a team effort. But it also has to start with one person at a time. So if I can do what I can do with you, with the time you spent with me, and you pass it on, the effect, domino effect, hopefully,
pay it forward.
Spreads. That's how the world can heal. One person at a time.
I love that.
Yeah.
So in closing, thank you once again for having me here, being able to share your time with me and having this deep conversation. And I thank the audience members of tuning in, watching our craziness.
I'll go back in character now. Anyway.
This is Jason Mayol.
In the flesh. But thank you. My pleasure. The pleasure is mine. I mean, thank you, Scotty, for having me. Look at you. And I'm in character on this, guys.
And actually, where can they find you? Because they need to see you. They need to have this experience.
I am. You can find me San Mateo Sports Nutrition, 115 East 4th Avenue, downtown San Mateo. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram. San Mateo _Sports Nutrition. I recently changed. I used to be Max Muscle Sports Nutrition. I got out of the franchise. I'm just remember we're talking about like subconsciously trying to ingrain that in me. Yeah. So I'm in the process of that, almost there. Facebook, you find me at San Mateo Sports Nutrition too. Just, I'm very easy accessible either at the shop or here. I get to you really quick, and I'm here for you guys as much as, I'm just here to spread the love. So anybody that needs a little assistance in fitness and nutrition, I'm your man. I'm your boy. And then, ask Scotty for, if you need a resource. He's also a good person. I do videos. So if you ever want to check out my stories, I like to entertain, and I like to tell stories through Instagram and Facebook.
And I can attest to that. Very entertaining.
Thank you very much.
And then to cap this all off, I'll leave all the links in the description too. You may see some of these lower thirds flying across the screen. And thank you for tuning into the AUM podcast or Unity Media with Jason Mayol. Like and subscribe if you found this video to be insightful and entertaining. I hope to see you again. Leave some comments. I'm going to be asking a question. Let us know what you think. And thank you. It's
mic
done.
drop. I don't want a mic drop. Listen. Thanks, Scott.
All right. Good.
You're right.
Yeah, we just finished. I don't know. I just think I just did a movie.
Like and subscribe on YouTube. Booty in your face.
We found true happiness.